Good morning, Villa fans, and welcome to a match preview of Monaco versus Aston Villa tomorrow at 5:30. Firstly, apologies for my voice. I've got Unai Emery-itis, definitely suffering like the boss man was in the last few days. So yeah, definitely caught something there. But yeah, really wanted to jump on and sort of talk about the game tomorrow. So excuse me if I do cough or sneeze during the podcast. But yeah, so let's dive in straight into it. I mean, first of all, the Arsenal game, just reflecting on that, Unai Emirates, mate, that's what that is. Unai Emery getting to the Emirates again and coming away with a point, denying Arsenal the win that they so badly needed. And just, 2-0 down. I was preparing for a different sort of match reaction, but credit to the boys, 2-2. Tielemans hitting the post as well. Bogarde having a late chance. Obviously, we got lucky with the Havertz handball. I'll say lucky it was handball anyway, so didn't really get lucky. But anyway, but yeah, a great result there at the Emirates to pull it back to 2-2 after being 2-0 down. And also Lamar Bogarde, I want to sort of, say how well that he played. When he came on for Onana after we went just 1-0 down, I did have my concerns, if I'm honest with you. I did think, what the hell is going on there? This is a player who hasn't figured for us for a long time. I haven't seen him play CDM before. He's played right back for us when he has played. And I just thought the logical sense would be Tielemans back and put on Bailey or Buendia or someone else. But no, Emery, this is why he gets paid the big bucks, and this is why I work in recruitment. He trusted Lamar Bogarde, put him on. And I must say, he gave us just that double anchor of him and Kamara just sitting in there, breaking up play, winning tackles. I think he got 100% tackle win ratio or something, but a really good performance from Lamar Bogarde there. And there seems to be interest from Hoffenheim and a few championship clubs as well to sort of take him on loan. He's just turned 21. I think we're a bit thin now in midfield. Obviously, Onana coming off injured, Barkley's obviously out, McGinn's possibly coming back soon. So, do we have the space to let him go, given our fragilities in midfield and especially in that sort of CDM position? All depends. I think that one might go late into the window, depending on how John McGinn comes back. Hopefully, he's going to be fit for the Celtic game, which I'm sure that he wants to be back for. So, if McGinn is back, then I can see us letting Lamar Bogarde go. But I don't think it'll be him going out in the next couple of days. I think this will drag on a bit until late in the window, but let's see. But just a really good performance. I thought, Digne, great ball in for Tielemans' header, and lovely to see Tielemans arriving in the box like that. Brave as well, getting his head on that superb header, and then Matty Cash from the opposite side cutting in on his left and producing a lovely ball to the back post. So he's obviously been watching Andres Garcia and what he's been doing, and making a case for himself there as well, Matty Cash. Great ball and a great finish from Watkins. Obviously, he's missed quite a few of those sort of easy chances, but this time round, it's crossbarring in, I think it was. And yeah, great finish. And yeah, again, Ollie Watkins strikes at the Emirates. A good, excellent result, I would say. Not a good result, an excellent result, considering the players that we had missing. Obviously, Arsenal had a few players missing as well, but it was just a really good, at least second half performance, I felt. Could have went on and got something else, but anyway, moving on to the Monaco game tomorrow. As I like to start these Champions League previews, a little brain teaser for you. There is only one player who has played for Monaco, and Aston Villa on this side. One player. Can you name that player? Answers in the comments. Who is the one player who has played for Monaco and Aston Villa? There you go. Off you go. Looking at Monaco, it's going to be a tricky kind of opposition. Looking at their sort of season so far, inconsistent is how I would call it. They're fourth in Liga at the moment, 15 points behind PSG, who are top, 18 games into their season. They've got 9 wins, 4 draws, and 5 defeats. A +9 goal difference as well. And in the Champions League, they sit in sort of 16th position on 10 points. But if they win this, they could sort of possibly leapfrog us. So there's a big jump if they do win tomorrow. So they've got an added incentive to do that. And then the last 5 games, if you look at their results, especially in Ligue 1 and domestically, most recently they lost 2-1 to Montpellier who are bottom of Liga. Yeah, so that was a bit of a surprise defeat, whether they had one eye kind of on this game. But I think they rested one or two players, but we'll come on to their sort of team news shortly. But a 2-1 defeat to Montpellier. And then following that, 2 draws, 1-1 against Reims, 2-2 against Nantes. Then a 1-0 loss to PSG in the French Carabao Cup equivalent. And then a 4-1 win, also in a cup competition against Union Saint-Jean. Never heard of them, but I think they might still love the league as well. So they're coming into this game not on great form. So a loss, 2 draws, loss, win, and then a loss. So that's the form they're coming into. A bit inconsistent, as I mentioned. Champions League wise, most recently a 3-0 defeat to Arsenal. Saw them off quite comfortably at the Emirates. So we should be looking at that and thinking, okay, well, maybe we can kind of match them. But football's not played in Fika. Nil. They beat Red Star Belgrade 5-1, and then they drew 2-2 with Dun as well. So they have had really good results in the Champions League. They're not sort of kind of followed that up and or kicked on in the sort of domestic league. Formation wise, I'll be honest with you, they tend to change it around. Their manager is called Adi Hutler, or Hutler, or Adolf Hitler, which sounds quite similar to Adolf Hitler. But they normally go with a 4-2 kind of 3-1. But they have changed it about. So they change it to a back. They can go 4-4-2, very much on a game-to-game basis, which is probably where you see the inconsistencies. If you're going to chop and change your formation every kind of week, every game, you're not given that time to blend and sort of get team cohesion going on. So that's changing the formation. But they've got dangerous players. They're very active for window as well. But the names that sort of might be familiar to a few Premier League fans at least is Minamino from ex-Liverpool. I think he's a Japanese playmaker, but in that sort of cam position, just on number 10 role. They've got Breel Imbrulo, who seems to have been around for years. I'm sure he played in the 1994 World Cup, but he's only 27. But he's had a lot of injuries, but once he is up and running, he is quite a dangerous player. And I've got a feeling that he's going to play tomorrow because they've got a new striker they brought in who's cup tied for the Champions League, like we've got with Marlon, who can't play tomorrow either. They got him. Golovin, I think the Russian playmaker as well. He's getting on a bit in age, but he still can sort of pull the strings for them, and he's been playing in the side recently. And then they've got sort of 2 youngsters that play kind of out wide for them. They've got a guy called Ben Segra, who plays from the left-hand side, came through their academy. He's got 7 goals this season, so he's definitely one to look out for. And then, I'm going to butcher this name, Akli Lauchi, who's another young, up-and-coming sort of right winger. 4 goals this game, very comfortable on the ball, good pace, likes to run at defenders, so he'll be a danger. Minamino, as I mentioned, has got 3 goals this season, and Brulo's got 5. But yeah, they brought in a new striker called Mika Bereth from Sturm Graz for 13 million just the other week, I think it was. He can't play tomorrow, obviously, because he's cup tied, but he's got sort of 11 and 16 games for them domestically, and 13 million, and he came through the Arsenal academy. So another sort of Daniel Marlon similarity there. Can't play tomorrow, came through the Arsenal academy, but they both won't be on the pitch tomorrow. So there you go. Injury-wise for them, they've got a couple of players missing. Balogun, who's an ex-Arsenal striker as well, that they bought. He's out injured for this game. And a promising winger they got, again, going to butcher this name. Is it Lenikena? He, again, is a young up-and-coming player, but he looks like he's going to be out for this game. They actually bought him in beginning of the season. They really transfer window. Well, they've been players like Ilikena from Antwerp, who's only 17. They paid nearly 19 million for him. So they obviously rate him really, really highly. And then they got Mawissa, who's a young centre-back, 16 million from Toulouse, 19 years of age. Lamine Kamara, who's a sort of CDM for them, 15 million from Lens, and he's only 20. So you can see that they're just building up these youngsters and then hopefully going to sell them on for huge profits. That seems to be the way that they do things. And as mentioned, Mika Bade, who's 13 million, 21-year-old striker from Sturm Graz, but he's not playing. And then they got Theo Kehrer, who I believe played for West Ham, 11 million, 27-year-old. It's probably the oldest player that they've bought ever. Jordan Teze is a right back, 10 million they spent on him from PSV. He's 24, very much an up and down, typical sort of Dutch sort of fullback. So yeah, they've spent big, but they also, they build these players up and sell them on for huge profits. I think in recent years, they've done some good business with Chelsea, Disasi and Badiashillie, I think for a combined almost 90 million, which is unreal. Then they've sold Tchouaméni to Real Madrid for like 80 million. Obviously looking way back before this, they've had Kylian Mbappe, Thierry Henry's obviously come through them as well. So, they've got some excellent pedigree there in terms of player and profile. And this is what they do. They just build players up and just sell them on for huge profits, give them a platform to perform at, good levels. And yeah, they're going to be dangerous. They're going to be a young, energetic side. The stadium doesn't hold too much. I've been told it's quite a small stadium. It doesn't get too loud either. So it'll be interesting to see how we get on in this game tomorrow. It's going to be difficult. I mean, team-wise for us, it looks like obviously Emi Martinez will be in goal. We'll probably go Matty Cash at right back. I think Ian Martin will come in at left back to start this one. I know Luca Digne came off the bench and assisted and did really well, but I just think Ian Martin for this one, just to give us a bit more pace, especially with their sort of wingers that are very sort of quick and direct as well. And then centre back wise, we don't have many options. Obviously, Diego Carlos is 1 foot in Turkey at the moment, so it looks like going to be Konsa and Mings to continue there. And then Kamara, sort of CDM, and then alongside him, it's either going to be Tielemans playing deep. I think we'll go with Tielemans. I think he'll drop Tielemans back in the CDM. And then you'll see ahead of that sort of Rodgers, Bailey, perhaps Ramsey or Buendia. And then I think up front, he'll probably go John Duran. I think that's already been sort of a decision that he's made in his mind, which is probably why we didn't see him come on against Everton and only get 10 minutes against Arsenal as well. I think there's been conversations had there, and it wouldn't surprise me at all, even though Watkins has scored and is probably on form, that Duran doesn't start this one. It's a game where it would be great to win it, to secure kind of qualification and get a top 8 place. But if we don't win, then we've still got the Celtic game that we can win. And, that will, again, I think, secure qualification. But, let's not leave anything to chance. Let's just get the game done as best as we can. So I think, we'd like to go strong. It's going to be a tough game. I am going to predict a 2-1 Villa win. Just about, this will be a tight game. It will be scrappy in some parts. It might come down to sort of set pieces or, just something to separate the sides. It's not going to be a free-flowing game, I don't think. I think Monaco at home are going to be dangerous. But as I said, they are inconsistent. Depends on the formation the manager goes with. Obviously, depends on what we go with as well. I mean, I'd like to see Kamara and Tielemans play as a double pivot and then putting another sort of attacking kind of player in that midfield rather than playing Bogarde and putting Tielemans forward. Even though Tielemans did really well, I'd just like to see us play with a bit more width and a bit more pace, and maybe Leon Bailey comes in for this one. And remember, sort of Daniel Marlon not available. So Bailey for me, just to get a few more minutes into his legs as well. But guys, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your comments, your score predictions. What lineup are you going with? Are you going with Bogarde in there? Are you going with Duran up front? Is Martin going to play at left back? Or do you put Digne in after his, great assist? Let me know what you guys think. Is there anyone else, that could potentially come in for this game? Buendia, perhaps. Let's talk about him going to River Plate. Hopefully we can get a few extra bodies in over the next few days as well. Lorik Bade doesn't seem too far away. We've got Andres Garcia. Hopefully that's not too far away as well. So that's 2 imminent sort of signings. It would not surprise me if Unai Emery went out and bought a left-sided centre-back, someone for cheap, just as additional cover as Powell is recovering, because I'm really fearful that Mings is playing a lot of football and not getting a lot of rest in between. So it wouldn't surprise me if we signed a left-hand sided, the young up-and-coming defender out of the blue, completely out of the blue, that no one's ever heard of. Maybe the Levante left centre-back. Who's that? But there might be somebody that just comes in out of the blue just to give us that fourth centre-back as Pau Torres is sort of coming back from his injury, and Mings is obviously still in that recovery kind of phase as well. I can't see us getting rid of Carlos, bringing in Bade, and that being it. I can't see us just going with that 3. I think will be one more, and it will probably be someone that we're not on the radar at the moment, not going to cost a lot of money. Probably somebody that's going to cost, sort of 2 to 3 million, something like that, who's left-sided, who's up and coming. Perhaps we can bring him into the squad kind of now as a backup, and then maybe sort of loan him out next season or something. But it wouldn't surprise me if we did bring somebody in. And I think that would basically mean that a lot of these youngsters could go out on loan, the likes of Bogarde, Swinkles, Gauchi's obviously been linked as well. I think Tommy O'Reilly's been recalled, or is he back this year at MK Dons? But there will be a few sort of players that go out on loan. But guys, let me know your thoughts. I'm off to take some Lemsip and get myself well. And yeah, until the next video, which will be a match reaction tomorrow after the game, up the mighty Villa. Let's get these 3 points. And until the next one, guys, enjoy the rest of your day. All right.